Magic of creation. They come up with ideas, they look for new solutions, collaborate to create original projects. Co-creation is what inspires them, pushes them forward, makes them stronger. They affirm eternal values of life, making this world a little better. Creative personalities and groups, authors of non-trivial ideas and projects, phenomenal theatrical productions and films, people of science and culture who once decided to amaze the world. In documentary series Magic of Creation. And now your character is contemplating about life. He's a philosopher. I see, contemplating about nature, about life. He sees everything that's happening around as a stage theater performance. Exactly. And he has nothing to do with it. He's in constant apathy, but not the sad one, but rather benign. Like Camus' Stranger. Screenwriter and director Dilhan Yerzhanov is one of the brightest representatives of the Kazakhstan art house films. His latest motion picture, The Shooting in the 11th Micro-District, is not his typical work. It is director's first attempt to create a commercial movie. Sergei Kabyshev is the executive producer of the film. He knows Dilhan Yerzhanov since college times. Their collaboration started with short films. Later, they founded the Short Brothers Studio, and today they represent one of the most fruitful production tandems of Kazakhstan. Our love for movies is what unites us with Adilhan, our understanding of movies. We have similar tastes. We like same films, same movements in cinema. Red and yellow, they are clear. These are the colors of Van Gogh, colors of Matisse. This is where we are heading to fauvism, primitivism. These are the components of our film, of our concept. Don't you think that there might be a dissonance if we use both Van Gogh and Matisse in the same frame? No, we are not using Matisse and Van Gogh here. There might be a reference to Van Gogh or Rousseau. The main character doesn't have to necessarily see references to Rousseau. He's just an inspiration for us, helping us create guidelines that we will adhere to. These guidelines must be firm, since in art, integrity is of crucial importance. In my view, the reason people come to movie industry is the urge to create. Creative ideas are born when there is a unity of mindsets. The biggest difficulties arise at the beginning, when you try to find a common concept. It's wonderful if you were able to achieve it. Then the process of directing turns into a real creative process. It was the recognizable style that made Adilhan Yerzhanov one of the most distinctive, notable directors in modern Kazakhstan cinema. He tried different genres, from thrillers, fantasy to tragicomedy. His movies unraveling social issues like the illness and the plague at the Karatas village gained him international recognition. Cinema of the absurd, social grotesque, sharp satire and provocative drama. These were the critics' comments of his films. The search for the truth and justice had brought Adilhan to the camp of partisan cinema. This association of young Kazakhstani cinematographers is akin to the British angry young man group movies or the French New Wave. The films of young rebels involved a small budget, sensitive topics and an attempt to make a statement in art. The Owners was a socially oriented film. In the plague, my hero was guided by the ideas of justice. But anyway, in my opinion, these were schematic ideas. Here I come to the idea that the most eternal, everlasting force is love. In this sense, sometimes only love can be counted to social injustice, injustice in general, that has occurred in all times, in different places. Love can save a person from falling.
Социальной несправедливости и вообще несправедливости, которая происходила всегда, во все времена и в любом месте. Это любовь, то, что может спасти человека от падения.
Вы хотите устроить испытательный срок?
Do you want to assign a probation period? At first, we need to get to know each other, become friends. Sultanat, I suggest you move in with me. We'll be roommates, living together as friends. I promise I won't touch you, Sultanat. I will be paying you in installments. Your uncle will act as your guarantor.
Все, что тебе надо, сделаю. Вот гарант твой дядя.
I love short stories. I prefer not to go into flashbacks, prehistory. I like starting from the point at which hero begins his journey to the final. The hero and the heroine come to the city, and the city is testing the strength of their moral steadfastness. Both characters end up changing, transforming, maybe into better selves, maybe not. There is a struggle for ideals, and the only thing that can save them is love. Who's going to win? Well, you'll see it when you watch the film.
Но в итоге, что победит, это уже, как бы увидите в фильме.
The city in which the main action of the movie takes place has no name. Unlike previous films by Yerzhanov, there are no surrealism conventions. The director is concentrated on the details of the real world, certain passing points of hero's storyline. One of the scenes at the hospital was actually filmed right in the corners of the Kazakh film studio.
11.1.3.
Полная тишина, цепление работает и начали.
To me, it is not just another love story, the story of urban Romeo and Juliet. It is the story of people who confront society armed with love. There will be no animosity between families and Shakespearean heartbreaks in the film, but heroes will face many dramatic tests and challenging problems. The main heroine, Sultanat, is from a poor family. Her father was mired in debts, and the only way out he could find was shooting himself. The main character is at the crossroads of fate and must make an important life choice. What are you planning to do, brother? Just make some money, find a girl to marry. Do you have a girlfriend? I do. And you know what? Nothing matters in this world. Governments, relatives, nothing matters. Just love. Love is the only real thing. Everything passes, but love will always stay. This role is the first leading role in the movie for Kuandik Dusimbaev. Actor says that his character doesn't have many lines, but each phrase carries a great semantic load, is psychologically verified. Everything happens as it would happen in real life. You just had a conversation. Like in real conversations, when the topic is already exhausted, you just sit there in silence, each having your own thoughts. After this, you seem to be summarizing what you were just talking about. I was writing the main character to fit Kuandik. I knew approximately his reactions, what can he bring into the character, into the film. It will not be difficult for him, because he is this character. I saw Dinara Bakhtibayeva in He and She and realized that she could do it. She sent us a screen test. I knew right away it was her, that she perfectly captured the character.
и вернусь.
I'll stay with my uncle for a while. I will come back. You,
Ты этот
try not to fall off the stairs
жизнь
again,
больше не падай,
okay?
ладно?
Салтанат. В моем жизни нет ничего. Но есть самое
Sultanat,
хорошее.
I have nothing, but I have something amazing, and
Это
it's you.
ты. Если ты уйдешь,
You won't return to me.
ты обратно не вернешься.
If you leave now.
Ты станешь как все.
You'll be just like the rest of them. Like in previous productions, Adilhan wrote the script for this film himself. This gives him more flexibility when working on set. The director tries to get us closer to real life in each mise-en-scène. He lives through every scene, every event in life of his characters together with actors, trying to understand the motives of their actions.
Не нужно ее уговаривать.
Don't need to persuade her. You don't care what she will think of you.
Тебе сейчас самое главное просто честно самой себе признаться. На мой взгляд,
The most important thing for you here is to admit this. In my view, directors and actors' dynamics is similar to that of Dante and Virgil, who leads Dante through all circles of hell. Virgil explains what is happening, not what Dante should feel, but what is happening around. Only after realizing that the actor understands the emotion, working with actors to me means understanding, really feeling what is going on myself. This makes explaining much easier, revealing not just feelings, but the things the actor must see. Did you transfer? No, Sultanat. It doesn't work out that way.
Так не получается.
I didn't get divorced yet.
Яснее.
I forgot to tell you
Расписано. Я
that
забыл
I'm
тебе сказать,
married.
что я женат.
Shooting in the 11th micro-district is Yerzhanov's sixth full-length film. This work is very different both in creative approaches and in style. Every project is a new challenge. You and your team, your creative directors, need to develop a single strategy, to be on the same page. Shooting in the 11th micro-district is not like the plague at the Karatas village. This is something completely different. Colors play an important role in aesthetics of Adilhan Yerzhanov's films. The worlds his heroes inhabit are a bit strange. There is no right of color. Red is the color of the heroine. A teapot in the room of a hero, apples on the table, all this is reminding of her. The yellow details symbolize Sultanat's homesickness. It is the color of coziness, of home warmth. The strange world of the heroes living in the 11th micro-district echoes director's art house past. At the same time, it is a new challenging task for the production designer Yerzhanov Tugenov and his assistants. Our artistic director is the person who works with me on all of my projects. Doesn't matter whether we have a budget or not, is he starving or doing well, he always chooses to work with me.
Он всегда работает со мной. С самого начала они сидят, разговаривают, потом она уходит вообще из кадра.
А в прошлом кадре они собираются?
А в прошлом кадре просто собираются, да. И так получилось, что мне
I needed a cameraman who has a creative vein, who looks outside the box, someone who can work fast and can work with light as well.
И при этом умеет работать быстро.
Love is the central theme of the film. Love is more important than money, benefits, self-interest and career, all those artificial values. This affected the choices made regarding the visuals of the film. The concept called for naturalness in all aspects. This in turn puts additional importance of proper work with light. The director aimed to achieve a sense of natural lighting. It took a while before the cameraman was found. Having a small budget wasn't helping either. And yet Adilhan found someone who met his requirements. Aydar Sharipov, cameraman from Kazan, was invited to work on the film. He offers various options. He is constantly searching for new solutions and doing it all very quickly. I like the way he works with light. I thought he was great. I liked that he understood the concept on philosophical level. For cameraman, as for the actor, this is the most important part. He arranges the light exactly the way I need.
Он стоит около шкафа, она сидит около стола.
Он средний план, она уже общий.
Она более общий.
Как жизнь?
What can I say?
Ну, как сказать? Как всегда,
Producers were not fond of our film like usual, but it's all right.
Ну, как бы это не то чтобы новость.
The filming stage is completed. Editing and toning period begins. Astana Film Fund was the organization that ordered and funded the filming of the shooting in the 11th micro-district. The fund's aim is to discover and support new professionals in Kazakhstani cinema. This kind of collaborations is new experience for Adilhan Yerzhanov and Sergey Kabyshev. It is still a creative process with only difference of having to comply with requirements of the client. A mask in the foreground. The patrol car is passing by. They said that this takes into some sort of trance, dragging into some kind of peculiar world. And producers don't like that world.
И этот мир, он как бы не нравится продюсерам, да.
Не, я понимаю, что...
I understand that we must take it out. Now that producers said their word, but let me just clarify why we needed those. They are like reference points. We have 3 points connected with this, as you said, strange world. These 3 phases represent transition from one part of the film to another part. These 3 scenes determine the rhythmic, emotional component of the film. Without these scenes, the structure of the film will be flawed.
Без этих планов структурно фильм будет ущербным.
Я как продюсер фильма все время спорю с ним.
As a film producer, I always argue with him, try to cut certain scenes.
Даже сцены, которые
Some scenes just don't fit into commercial movie style.
зрительскому кино. Но
Adilhan often disagrees, and that's why we argue.
Не всегда согласен, и из-за этого у нас постоянно идут споры.
Time will show whether the new film of Adilhan Yerzhanov will be able to successfully combine different genres, art house and commercial film. Either way, there is no doubt that the film will provide a fresh and unusual view on life of modern Kazakhstani society.
Чего я больше всего боюсь, это...
My biggest fear is to become indifferent, to lose my thirst for writing about it. I'm doing various things to avoid it, things I wouldn't normally do. It would make sense to continue shooting something like The Plague and The Owners, and I'm trying to talk about the same issues, only from a different angle. I guess it just feels right to me this way. Being sincere to me is to work in different genres and stay true to the ideas that are always concerning me.